Hey everyone, it's Mung here, back again with another deck discussion video. Thanks to all 8 of you who watched my previous one. It's not much, but it's enough to be interesting to me. So I'll try to be quicker with this one because the last one was pretty lengthy and I went a bit too in depth and had a lot of dead air. So we'll see how much better I do with this one. We're going to be discussing Longshore, okay, a deck entirely based around this card. It's a Mishima deck. I really like this card. It's probably one of the most unique in the way it behaves in the game. And the whole point is just to try to abuse it as much as possible. Okay, so what does Longshore do? It's a unique influence, and for one action it musters a Bannerman. You can only do that once per turn. So what the hell is a Bannerman? Bannerman is just a little 1/1/1/1 that he provides +1 to everything for every other Mishima warrior. So when you have one Bannerman, he's just a 1/1/1/1. When you have 2, they're both 2/2/2/2s. And when you have 3, they're all 3/3/3/3s. So it kind of starts to stack. But we can only bring out 1 per turn, so that takes time, and so we need to buy that time. And how do we do that? Okay, well, we also have Bodyguard, and he has the frontline ability, which means if he's on the field, he's the only one your opponent can attack. All right, and that gives us time to stack up our Bannermen. Because they're very squishy. But the Bodyguard is also pretty squishy. You know, he's not going to be winning any fights, especially without any kind of stack. So how do we keep Bannerman alive? Or Bodyguard. I should also note we also have where is he? Cartel Guardsman as a backup in case if we can't find Bodyguard. Because again, it's just there to buy time for us, so he doesn't have to be amazing. But how do we keep these frontline Bodyguard guys alive? All right, well, we have Coagulant Auto-Injector for some heals, and we also have Get Me Out of Here and Forgotten Orders. Consider Forgotten Orders to be your 4th, 5th, and 6th. Get Me Out of Here. They are not as good, okay? But the enemy always attacks with whatever their best warrior is. So this forces them to use less optimal warriors if they even have any. And if they only have one warrior on the field, then that's all that they can attack with. And that would just cancel out the combat. So it would behave kind of like Get Me Out of Here, except they'd get their action back. But really Get Me Out of Here is better, but consider this 4th, 5th, and 6th Get Me Out of Here if weaker. We also have Lifeguard Armors because we need to survive wounds. We need to keep it on the field as long as possible. And what else? Okay, well, we can't use any of that on the Bodyguards, but we have a control package as well as a survival package. Okay, so the control package is just to slow down the enemy as much as possible because again, we're buying time. So for that we have budget cuts, plays 2 actions, and it makes all their attachments cost 1 additional action. So that makes their turns a lot less efficient if they're dependent on attachments. And in the same vein, we have lack of resources for support cards. And we have personnel shortage for warriors. Personnel shortage is probably the best of this influence control package here. Because warriors are more important, but probably budget cuts second best here. We also have negative karma to slow them down a bit. We have secret headquarters. This I'm not too sure about because discarding isn't a huge deal, but you know, anything, you know, it's a chance it might get some good, and it's only 1 card in the deck, so it's not a big deal. We also have Malfunctions. Or no, miscommunications. Okay. And we already know about this card. It's our counterspell. Then we also have 2 malfunctions. This is for pesky things like the deuce from Capital. Something that can take out our very important influence support cards. So we want to protect them, and stuff like the deuce can take them out very quickly. And we also have supply line severed, because there are some influences that can mess with us too. All right. Now, lastly, we have a buff package. Okay, so once we get all these bannermen out, how good are they going to be? Okay, because just by themselves, like if you have 1 bodyguard out, you can have 5 more bannermen along with him. And if you don't have a bodyguard out, you can have 6 bannermen. Well, that just makes them all 6, 6, 6, 6. So we want a bit more than that. Okay, so first we have strength in numbers. Okay, so now all of those 6, 6, 6s will become, I think the math would be all 10, 10, 10, 10s. All right, because they're all going to basically apply the same effect twice to each other. Because strength in numbers is basically the same thing as what bannermen do to each other. And in the same vein, we have tight formation. Again, it's going to apply the same kind of stack. So now we're tripling up the stats that we get. So at the end of it, it's possible to have a wall of 6, 16, 16, 16, 16s. Okay, very tough. Can take on anything. On top of that, we have the Mishimi's Ceremonial Blade. All right, this gives us +4 fight and Slayer during fight combats, and it can be given Kai powers during your turn for no action costs. Okay, we're not very reliant upon Kai powers, but it's still handy because we have the Monkey's Foot. All right, this allows you to gain your warrior's base armor during combat. Okay, this allows you to get offensive with your bannermen a bit earlier, because another thing about the bannermen is that they are single life, so they only need to be wounded once to die, which is why we have to work so hard to protect them. But once we can get their armor stacked up enough, then we don't have to worry so much. So the Monkey's Foot really helps there. Oh, we also have a reassignment. I always forget about that one. But we discussed that in the last video. So that's the deck, and I'll see if I can get a match to show it off. Hold on, I forgot some more cards here. I'll go through them real quick. First is close air support. We're mainly focused on fighting, and fighting is how we get our Slayer attacks, so this helps with that, and again allows us to go offensive a bit earlier. And then we have a Doomed. That's also a part of our control package. Try to play this when the opponent has more than 3 destiny points, so that it can kind of recur, and it'll force the enemy to try to use up their actions instead of meditating in order to get rid of this. Otherwise they're going to be stuck. We also have 3 Force Marches. We discussed those in the last video. Very good control card. 2 Grand Assaults. This is just in case you don't find your Mishimi's Ceremonial Blade and you need to get something out of the way. 3 Hidden Cache to help us dig for our Longshores and our bodyguards. I think I already mentioned Lifeguard Armor. Okay. Reassignment. Okay. Planning Commission. Again, this is to help us dig. It's not a very efficient card, but we are very dependent upon certain cards here. Expedite Request, we already know about this. Try not to go too crazy using this because you do have a lot of important one-ofs. Okay, mainly Strength in Numbers and Tight Formation. Okay, you really don't want to get those annihilated. You can survive without one of them, but without 2 of them, then it's going to be really hard. Okay, I think that's everything that I forgot to mention. Alright, now we'll try to get to the game. Okay, let's see where we're against Lord Awesomeness and Cybertronic. Alright, well, we got our bodyguard, we got lifeguard armor. I think I'm going to cut that. Let's see if I can dig a bit more. Sir. Okay. Remember to be nice and always say hello. And we will end our turn. Don't want to discard anything here. Okay, I probably should have miscommunicated that. I clicked too quickly, but it's alright. Just slow him down here. Okay. Bring that back. And might as well get us some points. Okay. Well, since we're going up against Cybertronic, this budget cut is going to be pretty important. So we're not going to be able to Longshore and get a bannerman out. That's okay. Little fortune just to take all that he's stacked up there and end our turn. Oh, I don't know if he meant to do that, but all right. Well, we got strength in numbers here, so we got our little buff package going. All right, so we're going to activate Longshore, and don't need to put this out yet. So just grab ourselves another 3 points and end the turn. Okay, well, we don't really have anything that we need to expedite request for, so just hold on to that. Activate our Longshore, and here you can see how quickly our stats go up with the combination strength in numbers, tight formation, and the bannerman. Got a free action here, so we will equip that and we'll go in for 4 points. End our turn. Actually, I don't care about that being played since we're not really using actions to play warriors here. So I'll let that go. Alright. Activate Longshore. And here we are, back in. Stacking up like crazy. And we'll just keep what we got here. No need to discard anything. And there Now another trick you can do is, okay, Vince Diamond. Another trick you can do is you can play reassignment on your bodyguard, so that you can get more bannermen out and stack a bit more. That's how you get to the 16, 16, 16, 16. Alright, get me out of here. Now you can see we're really getting up there. And now we got enough to be more than double his armor with our sword, so we're going to be able to take him out with just one attack and win the game, hopefully. And we're going to miscommunicate that. And good game. Thanks for the game, Lord Awesomeness. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you for the next one.